Yes, guys. Sorry, I had to go offline. I thought the problem was at my end, and it wasn't. It was actually not from my end. It was actually from Mr. Brian's end. So let me copy this one and then post it again here. Sorry, guys. So the link is right there. Yes, the link is right there, guys. Okay, so let's see. Uh, yes. Okay, so how do I share this? How do I share the link, guys? I'm trying to share the link. Perfect, Mr. Set. Yes. Yes, love you so much. Love you so much also, Mr. Yes, Mr. Set. Yes, the link is back. Link is back on. Okay, let me try again here. If okay, the link is in now. So you can simply join. Yes, you can simply click the link and then join again. Yes, yes. Perfect. Mr. Brown is here with us. Let me add him. Um,
Okay, can you hear me now?
well, we are back again. So
Can you hear me now clearly? Hopefully.
I think your microphone is off. You have to switch on
All right.
your microphone.
Let's try again. It's on.
Yes, guys, let me know if my microphone is working so that. Uh,
Can you hear me?
but I think yours is off. You have turned it on, but you have. I think you have to select the camera.
Uh,
Sorry, you have to select the microphone rather.
right,
Check the
right.
option for the microphone, the audio, and then
Okay.
select the microphone that you want to use. Maybe you want to use the computer microphone. You
Oh,
can
I
use
got
the
you. I
computer
got you. I
microphone
got you. I got
and
you.
then use the headphone.
Right, right.
Oh, thank you so much, Mr. Castro. Yes, Mr. Castro says he can hear me 100%. That is fantastic.
All right, can you hear me?
Yes. Yes. So, guys, this is the link. If you want to join us, I'm still here with you
Thanks.
guys. So, the question for Ghana and also
Microphone.
Africa in a whole, you can simply ask me questions. Yeah, you can simply ask me
Can you hear
questions.
me
Let me
now,
see.
Supreme Leader?
Uh,
Wow. Okay, okay. This is not giving me any type of traction.
let me see.
Oh,
I think my Bluetooth is disconnected. Let me
no,
go
no, you're
back.
good. You're good. You're good. Communication high microphone default.
Okay.
All right, can you hear me now?
Okay, now I can hear you now.
Thank God.
Yes, perfect.
Thank God. Before I was
Yes,
like, what
this
the
is
hell is
good.
this?
It happens. Yeah, it
Yeah.
happens. Sometimes technology can be
Oh man, ass. I mean,
something can be some
they
kind
need
of way.
they need to simplify things.
Yes. But with time things will simply get better.
It is. Things are getting better despite
with
the
technology?
situation we
Yeah.
in. Yeah, the technology and despite the situation we in with the pandemic,
Okay,
um,
perfect.
it
Everyone
has
can hear us now.
right. It has the pandemic in this country has become very, very political. Very, very
Yeah, it's
political.
it's really crazy. It's really crazy.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
But
should you wear
yeah,
a
you were
mask
talking.
or should you not wear a mask? I mean, people are arguing in stores here about wearing a mask, or you by you not wearing a mask, you might kill me or you might infect my family. It in California, it has been rough.
Yeah,
It
but
has been rough.
the good thing about here is people are really serious about the mask. They use the mask a lot.
That's good.
Yes, here people are really serious with the mask thing. Like they are not joking.
Right,
If you see the videos that I'm posting, you can see almost everybody in the video is having a mask on.
right.
And in the beginning, people didn't want to use it, but now it's serious. Like you have to consider it because without a mask, you are not going to be allowed to enter some places.
That's
And
true.
also, you can be fined for that too as well.
Right. No, over here it has become a dividing issue, which is kind of crazy. It depends on what state you live in. Some states are a little bit more uncooperative
Yeah.
than others. Here in California, because I live in California, Los Angeles,
Okay.
which certain areas where I live in LA, I hate to make anything like a blue state, red area, what have you. I mean, that's
Yeah.
red represent Republicans, blue represent Democrats. We have
Okay.
spots in California that's pretty much, I hate to say, Trump supporters, and they believe that the whole thing is pretty much false
A
and kind of,
setup.
huh?
Like they believe the whole thing is like a setup. It's not real.
Yeah, it's set up conspiracy theory.
Yeah, but
Somehow that the
yeah,
government is trying to
like
cause
what
a
people,
dictatorship or a socialist
yeah.
country.
Okay,
Those
we
type of
all
things.
think, like me, for instance, I
Right.
think it is a conspiracy theory, but then I'm not joking. I'm going to use my mask, even though I don't believe in it.
Why you don't believe in it though?
Okay, the reason why I don't believe in it, one, I live in Brazil, and
Right.
uh, when you come online, like, or maybe you go to these news channels and stuff like that, they keep saying people are dying of coronavirus Brazil
Right.
and all that. But trust me personally, I don't know anybody. I know a whole lot of people, but none of these people have COVID, and none of them is even dead. So, like you
Right.
can tell from that, I know a lot of people. So, if like for real, people are really dying out here out of this disease, I should at least know some few people who are dead, or maybe some people who know some other people who are dead, who
Mm-hmm.
can, you understand what I'm saying? But
Right.
it's just that I'm not joking with my, what do you call it,
What's
with
your health?
my
Your
mask
health.
and stuff
Right.
like that. Yeah, you can tell
Right. I mean, from my
I have
end,
this.
oh, I got you. I hear that.
You see?
You're
I
right.
don't joke at all. Let me see. You can see the truth.
What is that anyway? Is that some type of
It is
alkaline water or
alcohol.
something?
It is alcohol. We use it to clean our hands.
Oh,
You
okay.
see,
Okay.
like
Okay. Like
I
sanitizer of
have,
some sort,
yeah, it's
or
like a sanitizer. We call it alcohol.
okay. Huh.
Like my English is missing because of Portuguese. I've been living here for the past 10 years. So
I mean,
now,
you're kind of like that bridge. You know that, right? No, you are. You are. You are absolutely that bridge connecting. And I hate to sound like an Afrocentrist, between blacks in North America and
yeah,
also the English speaking world
yeah,
with the people in Portuguese. I mean, we never had that conversation
okay.
talking about certain things, talking about our different experiences, what it means to be a person of, I know you hate this word, African ancestry in the Western Hemisphere.
Oh, I don't really hate some words like that because
Right, right.
I'm typically from Africa and I'm black. And one thing about me, I believe so much in myself. Like I don't like I when you call me any kind of name, I simply accept it because it is what it is. I'm black. What else?
But you don't
You
have to
understand?
accept every name everybody call you though.
Oh, let me tell you something about names. When people call you names and you pretend as if you don't like it, that is when,
That's where you give them power.
yes, you understand what I'm saying.
Right.
They call you some name, you laugh about it, and you even call them that same name. You
I got you.
understand? Like
Right.
somebody look at me and say, "Hey, nigga, what's up?" I would just look at you and say, "Hello, nigga, what's up?"
Unfortunately, black people here, some black people here utilize that term as endearment. It became sort of like the word that was used as an insult. Some people, not, mainly the younger generation and people my age or what have you who are
Yeah,
Generation X, and made it their own. Whereas people, my mom's generation, that word is pretty much an insult, because of what they fought and what they went through. I'm not gonna tell my age too much. Back
yeah,
in the back in the civil rights days, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Because I grew up, I've been born afterwards, after the craziness of the '60s and stuff like that. Martin
yeah.
Luther
That
King,
is a long time.
yeah, I love. I grew up the afterwards of that. You know what I mean? After Martin Luther King, let me say Martin Luther King Jr. got shot.
Yeah.
I was born a few years later, so I'm kind of like
Okay.
a different generation than you, most likely. And yeah, I know I am. I know I am.
But like I said, you can just be that kind of person. Like
Right.
they call you names, you laugh about it, and then you
Hmm.
call them the same name back. Like it looks
Right.
funny. They just consider it like this guy ain't serious. He's not even angry with what I'm saying. Like he doesn't even care. So even if I call him, he's not gonna feel any bad about it. Like they'll keep trying new things. And whenever they try new things, you give it to them back, like
Right. Right.
so,
Now
like,
let's get to the
yeah,
heart of the issue. I don't have no
yes,
issue.
let's,
I don't have no issue in regards to you saying mixed race or whatnot. And in reality, biologically, that's true. That's facts. We cannot, we cannot erase biological facts. However, and I'm looking at it from a North American point of view, I do agree with you, especially with recently mixed people, especially even in this country, who have a white parent and and black
hmm,
parent. Okay, they mixed
yeah,
race. However, though, if that mixed race person looked like any of the general population,
hmm,
then I'm not going to make that choice for them, whether what people are going to call them as, unless you're going to be putting up a card saying, "Oh, I'm mixed, I'm mixed, I'm mixed," especially if you look like the general population of said
yeah,
group. I'll give you a perfect example. We do have, they're not the majority. It's the United States history is very, very complicated, very, very convoluted with a lot of things. It has its nuances in regards to the whole mixed race. I mean, back in the past, let's say, I hate to go back that further. In the slave days, everybody knew what went down.
you
And
see,
right.
let me come in this side of what do you call it, the
Hmm.
slave side. When we talk about slavery, a whole lot of people don't get it. Each and every single race, okay, there are a whole lot of race which also went through this slavery thing.
Oh, no doubt about it.
You understand? But we, the black people, okay, most of us, we have taken the whole thing like we were the only slaves in the world.
Right.
You understand? Like I said, if somebody call you a name, you call them back. with the same name that they call you, and you laugh about it. You don't take it serious. You understand?
Right.
Black people, we quickly spark on some certain things.
But it has a lot of historical. What's what I'm saying? It has a lot of historical significance as far as what
Mm,
occurred. I mean, it's hard to explain it how the way the society is until you come
yeah,
here. Um, like for example, you say mixed people are not black, and and I disagree. But we
yeah,
do have a lot, not a lot, but we do have a significant amount of the population, right,
yeah.
who are admixed. And according to DNA, about 30% of African American males have a European,
Gene.
gene. And that is historical fact, and that takes us back to that part of history. As time went on, especially after slavery ended in the United States, I know in Brazil it ended at 1888.
Yeah,
Um, it really depends on where you lived at in the United States. Mixed race people and black people had to forge a type of unity against the dominant society at that particular time. That's just historical facts. Because I mean, when I'm saying mixed race people, I'm talking about admixed people who pretty much mixed race people who mix with themselves for many many generations, and then
yeah,
some, and then what you get when they mix with the black community here, you're going to get all types of stuff going on, even between the same family. In other words, different types of looks. Not everybody, but some people. You could Google some people names like Vanessa Williams. Obviously, she is both of her parents are black, but she is a mixed person. Of mixed people of many different generations.
okay. What I want to talk about on this
Right.
part of what you just said about mixed people and black people, we're trying to fight against dominance.
The dominant society, which
Yeah, the
being,
dominant society.
right
Okay,
at that
you were
particular time.
trying to talk about something like that. Let me bring
Right.
you some fact about. No, let me just bring you something that we Africans or we black people were supposed to do when these kind of things were happening at that
Mm-hmm.
time. First of all, why can't we black people make it clear that mixed people are not black people? Why can't we black people simply call mixed people white people? But why do we
Mm-hmm.
accept that white people simply say mixed people are black and then we simply say yes, they are black? You see,
Not everybody agree with the same approaches.
yeah, but
Would you say?
majority, because
Not.
I
I
see
would
you,
say it depends on the culture you grew up. Like for example, you have a significant amount of African American people who have a white ancestor.
yeah, a lot.
Not a lot. It's significant. Let's say about 30%. Let's say that 30%, 20% thing is true, and we have them in each of our families. I'm just being very factual about it. And a
Okay,
lot of our families, we do have that. I mean, it would be like separating myself, who look like you, from my cousins. And then I have a grandmother who looked a certain way,
okay,
who you might describe as a mixed race person. Where were we going to go with this? Where are we going to put that
yeah,
dividing line there? I'm
yes. Let
black.
me.
I'm black, but
Okay,
my cousins are not black. I mean, it just sounds, it would be kind of weird. However, like I was telling you before, recently mixed people, oh, I have no issue with that as far as them, in regards to embracing that aspect of it, of who they are, because that's what they are. Especially if they have a person of a different race as a parent. That makes sense. But with at mixed people, it becomes a little bit more difficult and a little bit more tricky.
no. When you say it
I mean,
becomes
I give you a
difficult,
perfect example. The act. Let
let
me
me
give you a
put
perfect
something
example. Let me
down
give you a
front
perfect
here.
example.
Okay.
The actor Don Cheadle. Okay, looks straight up sub-Saharan African, but he has 18% or 20% European gene. Should we put him in the mixed category too?
No,
since you don't look it?
let me
Right,
simply make some things clear out here. First of all,
right,
science. The science that we have today, okay, which is
right.
very popular, and people are using, let me say,
Or DNA testing and all that.
DNA, blah blah blah, all these things. Don't forget they were created and also enforced for people to understand that fact comes from those kind of things. That's one.
Right, right.
You understand? Because we are talking about reality out here. If I stand along, let me just say, Big Punisher. I don't know if you know Big Punisher.
Hmm. No,
Big
I don't
Punisher
know who
is
that. I don't
American
know who that is.
musician.
Is
Okay,
he
he's
some
an
type of musician
American
or
rapper.
something? Okay.
Yeah. Or let's look for a popular mixed person like Will Smith. Is Will Smith mixed?
No, he's not. Both his parents are black.
Okay, let me get somebody who is a popular mixed guy
I
that
know a
everybody.
popular mixed woman.
Okay, like
I'll give you a perfect
Rihanna,
example. Rihanna is, but she both her
she's
parents
a
are.
Latino.
One parents is black. I mean, black. Both of them are black, but one is probably have a mixed ancestry.
Okay,
Um,
perfect.
right, right. But I give you a perfect example. Holly Berry.
Okay, let's use
Halle
Halle
Berry.
Berry.
Yeah, she
Let's
have a white parent and a black
okay,
father. Correct.
Beyonce. Tana gave a very good example. She's a very
Be-
popular musician.
Beyonce is
Beyonce.
considered Creole. She comes from a multi ethnic background.
Okay, perfect. Okay, let me
Right.
just use Rihanna. Okay, let's just
Okay, Rihanna.
sorry,
Okay.
let's use Beyonce that everybody knows. Everybody knows
All right.
Beyonce.
All right.
Okay,
All right.
physically. Okay, physically. Let's forget about DNA machines and science.
Right.
When Beyonce and I,
Beyonce. Uh huh.
okay, we go to Africa, what do you think Africans will call Beyonce?
Oh, they probably call her, like half caste. I know when I've been to Nigeria, they've been called mixed
Let me
people. They'll
tell
call them
you,
half caste.
80% of Africans won't call her even Afghans. They will simply call her white. You understand what
That's
I'm saying?
right. Right.
So
Right.
when we are talking about fact, it's like you are telling me that I know this particular thing that I want to talk will spark something, but I still
No,
have to
no. Go
talk about.
ahead. Speak your mind, brother. Speak your mind.
We are talking when you talk about reality,
Hmm.
because I'm trying to bring some crazy example. Okay,
All right. Go ahead. Go
although
ahead. Go
it
ahead.
might sound crazy, but I have to use it.
It's not gonna sound crazy. Go ahead. You're
Okay,
expressing yourself.
let's use women population and men population for instance. Okay,
Right.
men can have two women, and you can easily know if he impregnates both the two women. You can know that, oh, this guy did it. Okay, but when a lady is pregnant for two guys, it becomes difficult to tell. You understand? So automatically, a man can simply have two women as wives and get away with it, but women cannot do that. Okay, why did I say that? We have a law which says no, you cannot marry two women. Okay, and these laws are being created by humans or by mostly white people created these laws. Okay,
Right.
and I want you to understand something. When you talk about science and DNA, they are not fact. They are something that are being created by the Western world for people to simply accept it. They push it on you for you to accept it.
I wouldn't say. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'll let you speak. Speak your piece.
Uh-huh. They push you or they push it on you for you to simply accept it that this is this and that is that. You understand what I'm saying? But if
Hmm.
I stand with somebody who is mixed, you can simply tell that this person is not black. This is what I want you to understand. You can
Hmm.
simply tell that this person is not black. It's either from two different race or is from one particular maybe race. Because if somebody is still from two mixed families, they are still mixed. They are not typically black people. You understand what I'm saying? And when these people come to Africa,
Right.
Rihanna, Beyonce, all these mixed people in the States, when they come to Africa, we don't call them black people. They are not black. But in the United States, they have tried and convinced everybody that if you are mixed, it means you are black. How can somebody?
Not necessarily saying that. I mean, you have to really think about the cultural implications here.
Okay.
Everything, like for example, in order to, like for example, every country I went to, right?
Mhm.
I read about the history and I read about the culture and have an idea what the mindset of the people is. That's just facts. And then I usually come up with my own conclusions. Whenever I go there, I pretty much already have certain things in my mind as far as how the way this country is. I'll give you a perfect example when I went to Australia. And
Okay.
in their situation with the Aboriginal people, and I met Aboriginal
Mhm.
people and stuff like that. I already knew about them and about their history, uh, without being, I didn't come there ignorant. And I know that there were certain nuances as far as being Aboriginal. I met Aboriginals who are straight up very, very black, but with straight hair. I mean, I know you have issues with hair. And I met Aboriginals who are straight up European looking. And,
Good.
and I came up to the conclusion, it's more or less about this cultural bonding thing they have there. Not
Okay.
how the
So
way you look, it's
yeah.
what, a typical experience of our experience being, a person of indigenous heritage. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Let me simply read some comment out here, just
Right.
so that we can continue. Okay. Let's start with this comment here. Beyonce, Ty Cromwell. Okay. Ty Cromwell said Beyonce and Stacey Dash are the rarity. They don't look like majority of blacks in America.
I wouldn't say him.
Beyonce mom
Right. Go ahead.
makes mix and father is what black. Okay. Money Mike said, if she is white, then I'm mixed. Okay, we don't have your picture, so we cannot tell. And Shayla said, Beyonce is mixed. Physically, she looks like a direct mix, and her sister looks black. Okay, Tana, my dad is black, ambiguous, and my mom is mixed. Don't look black. Some people seem just black. Some people think and look mixed race. It depends. Okay, that was from Tana. Okay,
Depends on it.
I just want a Brazilian Becky. Okay, I didn't understand that one.
I
And
know what it is. White
yes,
Brazilian.
and Seth Obin said, "Look, man, what is the white in your blood? You are at Money Mike." Okay, he's talking to Money Mike. And Moro, Marroquino do Grecia says
Mhm.
Catra. I don't understand either, but maybe you might understand and help us with it. And Money Mike says, only few light-skinned black girls. Money Mike again. Give me a girl like Lisa Ray. In the 90s, she was bad. Okay, let's look at the last comment here.
Oh, what do you
Sheila.
say?
Sheila Joyce. An African with very light skin in Africa will still look different from mixed person with same complexion in Africa. There is a very big difference. It's true. What Sheila is saying out here, you
Hmm.
remember I said in some video, if you are black and you still have light skin, when we see we Africans, we know you are black.
But you don't believe Fulanis are black, though.
Yeah, like for Fulani people are not black people.
Okay.
Fulani people are mix of Arabs.
But you know that a significant amount of Fulanis came here as slaves, especially in the United States.
We know, but I
Right.
want you to like
Right. Go
I'm
ahead.
bringing
Go
you
ahead. Go
back
ahead.
because
Go ahead.
I grew up with Fulani people.
Right.
You understand? I grew up in a multicultural
Cultural. Yeah.
African home because our home we live in a compound house, okay, and I was born in a place in Ghana called Fadama, and this Fadama we have group of people from North Africa, Central Africa, and some part of Africa living in that particular community called Fadama. You get to know and understand the difference if you live in these communities in Ghana. Nima, Mamubi, 441, Fatama, Shukura, Madina. These areas in Ghana, if you live there, you know much about race. Why? Because you get to know the differences. You will see somebody and you are Black American, okay, fine. You grow up knowing and understanding that mixed people are Black people once
No,
you
no,
are
not all.
mixed.
What I'm saying is that's a consensus. Not all African Americans believe that. We even have
Yo,
mixed
Prodigy
people.
is here. It's
Right,
very good that Prodigy is here. Let me
right.
just send a link.
Send them on here.
Prodigy, you can join us if you want to join us and share your mind also. Aha, just a minute. Another viewer who said her comment was lost. I don't know his comment.
Right, go ahead.
You remember you told me that you also commented and your comment was missing, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. So this was what I was. The reason why I even came online to clarify things because there are a whole lot of comments when people leave, it disappears. And it's not my fault. I don't delete comments. I normally like to leave any negative comment. So I want to make something clear out here.
Right.
Flower 4848. I want you to understand that I never deleted your comment. The comment got missing. So please don't think that I deleted your comment. I didn't. Brian, you were talking. Let me allow you to continue.
No, we was talking about Beyonce or what have you. Her mother is.
No, let me bring you. Maybe you have forgotten where
What
we
was
are.
it?
I was talking about if you leave some areas in Ghana,
Right.
West Africa, Ghana, you know the difference between the race. For example, you thought Fulani people were black people. Fulani, they have black people and they have mixed Arab people. The black Fulani people, listen, the black Fulani people, they are from the south. And how they became Fulani, we didn't even know. But when you see them, they are black people. They are just like me. They don't have curly hair. They don't have anything. They look just like me, but they
No,
are
I, I,
Fulani.
I met I met them when I was in places like Nigeria.
Perfect.
Right.
Most of them are in Nigeria. Most of these Fulani
I mean,
people,
they all over the place. They're nomads.
they don't have particular land.
Right.
Fulani people don't have particular land because they rear cattle and they like to live in bushes. So
Right.
their life is forest life. You understand what I'm saying? And let me bring you again. If you grew up in West Africa, Ghana, we have some areas, or even if you want to visit and learn more about race, okay, try and make friends within these areas. Nima, Mamubi, Madina, Fadama, Shukura, Madina. Try and make friends in those areas. They will open up more about African race. They will let you know who is real black and who is mixed from Arabs because most of the West Africans up to the north and the East Africa,
Right.
they were
Well,
mixed
that's
with
that's
Arabs.
well
You
that's pretty
understand?
much debate. That's pretty much debatable. If you talk to an
Good.
Ethiopian about that, you probably might get slapped in the face on that one, among the Orthodox community there. Because they have an issue with religion. Half of them,
Good.
60% is Orthodox
Yes.
religion, and they can't stand Arabs, bro.
Good. So when you go to the
What do you
South
mean that's good?
Africa,
I mean, you rather have people hate people?
okay, so
What you
like
want?
for example, when
You
you
want to
go
be
to
you gonna
Ghana,
be racist or something or what? What's going
yeah,
on, man?
if you go to Ghana and you call somebody to be Buzu,
Right.
you look at somebody and say he's Buzu, that person can simply slap your face. Do you know Buzu? Buzu looks like white. They
Well, you talking
like
about Tuaregs?
the Tuaregs.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Right.
But you cannot call some black guy in West Africa Buzu unless they don't know that the word Buzu.
Right.
Because they have that kind of stigma of begging money, they don't work and stuff like that. So no, like people don't really respect them. So you can look
No,
at
you. s-
somebody and say,
I seen some of them when I was in Lagos.
good. You see them on the roadside begging
Right.
money,
Right. It's
especially their
usually the
children.
kids. It's usually the kids that's doing it.
It's usually the kids. The mothers
Yeah.
don't, you don't see them like that. Okay,
Right.
when you go to the south of Africa, you learn more about mix
Are you
and
talking about the
black.
color community over there?
Yes, the
South
colored. They
Africa,
don't
it's kind
call.
of weird. South Africa kind of remind me of the United States to a certain degree.
Yes, but
Um,
even when you are in South Africa, you
right,
learn more about mixed people because the mixed people they don't call them blind, they call them colored people.
right. I understand that.
And when you go to South Africa, majority of South Africa are light-skinned black people.
Right.
You understand? So because I have lived in South Africa in so many cities of South Africa, I've lived in Johannesburg, I've lived in KZN, which is KwaZulu Natal, I've lived in Eastern Cape.
Hmm.
I have lived in what was the name? Bloemfontein. I've lived in a lot of places, and I've lived in the typical South African villages too as well. I didn't live with my own people. I lived with the South African people.
Right. You were
You
one of the few
understand?
African. I have to give you credit. You were one of the few African peoples I know that actually really venture out. I'm seeing
Yes,
like the
I love traveling.
majority. Yeah. No,
I
I'm just
have
saying. No, I'm
traveled
talking
a
about
lot. I've
like.
been deported 3 times.
No, I'm talking about as far as when you go to the local countries, you actually try to integrate with the community. I noticed that a
Yes,
lot of guys I met from like Senegal and especially people in that region, they usually stay within their own culture.
yes. Prodigy is here. You
That
and
happens.
Prodigy,
Where's he
the
from?
people
United
who
States or where's
always
he from?
hustle me so much. You and Prodigy, you hustle me so much.
It's our
So it
job.
is great that you guys are here.
Just doing our job, man. We got to hold you accountable.
And I love you
Exactly.
guys so much for
Well, are you
that.
from the States, Prodigy, or what?
Just north of that, I'm up in Canada,
Oh, okay, cool, cool.
Toronto. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, nice
Oh,
city.
okay. So
But
Prodigy,
I'll be there. I'll be there over there again soon with Brother Supreme over there.
Oh, really? Florida? He supposed to be coming to Florida, right?
No, I'm saying I'll be in Brazil soon enough with
Oh,
with
I
my
hear
man,
that.
yeah.
and then I'm gonna really make him sweat.
All
Oh,
right.
okay.
Get
I'll
on
be
him. Get
waiting.
on the brother.
I'll teach him. First thing I'm gonna teach him is how to record because when he be recording, I don't know why he be ignoring what we want to see. What we really want to see, he knows what we want to see. But he be. That's my first issue.
Yeah, I
He
know
knows.
he be fronting. He be fronting. He be
Yeah, he be
fronting. He be
fronting.
fronting, bro. He be
He knows what
fronting.
You
we.
know,
He knows what we want to see as
Oh
men,
yeah. Oh yeah.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
right?
you remind me of one of my viewer who recently came. I did some videos with him. It's called Rudy. Okay, what happened with Rudy? I went to a shopping to meet Rudy. Okay,
Right.
and after the interview, we saw some girls. Okay, we saw some girls like we did. I didn't know them. He didn't know them. Like they just walk in and then they were sitting down drinking and eating something. And I told him, Rudy, what do you think about these girls? Let's go and then talk to them. He was like, nah, you just. I said, Rudy, look at me, I'm going there. And I did. You can see I did some other interview with two ladies. One is Jennifer, one is Gabriella. I didn't know them. I went there and Rudy was like, really? How did you do that? Is that how you do? I said, Rudy, you have to you have to be very free-minded
Yeah,
Right.
because you see, you don't have to be some kind of way with yourself. You have to be very, very free-minded. Talk to people.
yeah. Just open.
If you can, if you want to, just do it. If they say no, you just leave them alone.
Exactly.
And when you watch the interview, it looks like I know them for a very long time. I don't know them anywhere.
Are those the two girls in the park that were exercising or something?
Those ones too, I never knew them. I think that one I did a live video with them. I was on
Yeah.
live. I saw them
No,
training, and
one of the ones you had a live video. Oh man,
yes,
she
I
was
was.
smoking, bro. She was smoking. I was like, Jesus. I think you know what's one I'm talking about. She's a little bit more caramel complexion, curly hair. She was really, oh man.
Oh, here, like I said, here they are very, very sweet and loving, and very, very welcoming too as well. But in the States, what happens is that most of the women are very like how do I put it? They have some kind of attitude. They are like when you are in Africa, most of the women have serious attitude. Like you can just call somebody and you want to tell him that, or you want to tell her that, oh, something has fell on the floor to pick it up. She can just watch you and then act some kind of way. Okay, but here they are not like that. They listen. If they are not interested, they will just tell you, "Oh, sorry, I have something to do." But they will stand and listen to you. At least,
Yeah,
yes,
Yeah.
I can corroborate. Have you been down there yet?
Oh, you
yes. I
Brian?
was
mean,
in
oh,
Ghana.
No, I mean I'm talking to Brian. Is Brian
no,
has been?
I haven't been into Brazil yet, but I've been to, like different Latin American countries,
Okay,
namely, Dominican Republic. Obviously, since I live in California and Mexico, that's just like, right
just a
there.
hop. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
right
it's
there.
definitely a hop. And also, it seems like a lot of people, the company I work for, everybody used to want to retire in Costa Rica. Now it's Panama. Panama is like the go-to city where a lot of Americans want to move to nowadays.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've been to Panama too, and it's quite different in Panama too as well,
But
and Mexico too as well.
yeah,
I've been to
Dominican
Mexico.
Republic was outside of tourist areas.
Yeah,
It wasn't all that for me.
yeah. I mean, yeah, I did. I wasn't impressed.
Yeah, we was in Sosua.
Uh, um, what was it called? It will come to me. It's been years.
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't all that. I mean, it was cool. It was fun. I mean, even though they treat the Haitians like shit, excuse my language, but it is what it is. I don't know. I try not to get in those issues, local issues with
Yeah,
people, because
yeah.
Haitian people tell me one thing, and I don't want to get in that politics.
No, but just to follow what brother Supreme is saying, I
Yeah.
can definitely support that in Brazil from what I my experience because I went there, man. I got a lot of stamps going back and forth there.
Wow. How often you went to Brazil?
Oh, that's what I'm saying. I can't remember. At least 8 to 10 times,
Wow.
and
I mean, what cities?
that was with. I always found myself listen. we we my friends at the time, we always said, "Oh, let's go check out El Salvador. Let's go check out Bahia. Let's go check out
Right. Right.
this other spot." But then when it came time to put our money down to book the flight, we always
Right.
found ourselves going back to Rio, man. Back to
Wow.
Rio.
Why Rio?
Back.
Why Rio? Why
Are you
Rio?
You
kidding
have
me?
to try. You have to try
Are you
Guayas.
kidding me?
Wait a minute,
Why Rio?
Ipanema Beach or
Guys, I'm telling you
Listen,
guys,
listen.
Rio is a
My
joke.
palms are sweating right now just thinking about it. Like,
Look, let
wow?
me tell you something. Rio is a joke.
Why you say
Try
that?
Guayas.
is it where?
Just try
Try where?
Guayas. Guayas.
Boyas.
Now
Yes.
where's that?
Goyas. Oh,
Where's
with the
that at in
G.
Brazil?
Yes. Try it
I've
out.
heard of it. I've
Now
heard
what
of
part
it.
of
I've
Brazil is
heard.
that?
You always go back to
Is that in
Goiás.
Rio too? No,
Nah,
that's a separate
it's a
state.
different state. It's close to Brasilia.
Okay.
Uh,
So they
it's
have
got beaches.
Do they have beaches though,
they
bro?
don't have beaches. They have what do you call it?
Lakes?
Natural hot swimming pools.
Oh, hot springs you talking about?
Yes, they have a natural hot stuff over there. Like Goiás is one of you just try it out. Look for Caldo's Novas.
Oh wow.
Just
Yeah,
look for
it sounds like a different kind of a flex.
Yeah, remind
But
me.
when you
listen,
It sound like Denver to me.
I'm telling you, the beach makes a huge difference.
look, let me tell you
That whole
something.
Copacabana strip and
Oh
When
the
you
energy
man.
go to
there,
go
Right.
to when you go to
it's
Goiás, you see what you don't see in Rio.
yeah. But he hasn't been yet. He needs to at least one time
Right. Right.
get that Rio
That gotta be
experience.
exact. That gotta be my first experience, brother.
He's got to go to Rio, go
It'll
down to
be
that,
it'll
do
be
the whole
Rio.
Copa.
It will be Rio, Bahia. Definitely got to go to
Ty
Bahia.
Ty Cromwell was he's saying in Brazil they have some kind of discrimination
Oh
for
God,
black people. Let me tell you something. It's
look,
not real. When
let's
you want to,
let's
you have to travel to Brazil yourself.
before we get into even that. Listen, Brian's got to know this. When it comes to girls, right? Like my man was saying, one thing I found that's so unique and different about Brazil, or at least in Rio, anyways, is
Right.
that if, like he was saying, if you approach, you got to be open minded,
Right.
and when you
Yes.
do approach, and say like a girl that you approach is she's not really interested for whatever reason, maybe she's having a bad night or she's already
Right.
taken.
Right.
What I find over there is that the girl will, like, tell me if I'm wrong. In North America, in the United States, whatever,
Mm.
if you approach a girl, she's not interested. The other friends will be like, cock blocking and pulling her away, right?
Yeah, they do. They do.
Yeah, okay. That's not what they do there in Brazil. You approach girl A, she's not really interested, right? What she does is she will try to set you up and introduce you to one of her friends that's there with her.
Huh. What is? They don't
It's
have.
it's
They don't have
it's
too much
so
competition among themselves, or
yeah,
what over there?
it's okay. It's a different mentality. It's
Right.
it's it's like, and like you were saying recently, I think this week, brother, like the women definitely outnumber the men. Definitely outnumber the men. It's like, so if you
I said,
approach one, yeah, if you
Wow.
approach one and she's not interested, there's like so many more. Like this is it's
Oh wow.
it's it's the best. I don't even know. It's just the best
You know what? I'm just gonna
situation.
be. You talking about going to Brazil? I got to book my flight very soon then for vacation.
Yo, step one, get that passport. Step two,
I already got the passport,
secure
but yeah.
secure the visa.
Right.
Once you got the visa, then you book the place where you're gonna stay, right? Don't
Right.
do hotels. You're gonna it it's a
What?
totally gonna
What?
be a totally
Airbnb
different
it or
experience.
what?
Yeah, Airbnb,
yeah,
you want to rent an apartment.
Right.
You want to rent an apartment so that, when you do meet something local there, she can easily just come back, or hey, we're putting it all out there. We're putting it all
Right.
out
Right.
there.
Right.
She
We
can
talking about
easily
everything.
come
Yeah.
she can easily come over.
Right.
He's laughing because he's married now, right? I
Right.
mean,
oh
but
yeah,
let's but
yeah.
we got to tell the truth, man. We got to tell the truth. I'm here to hold you accountable. I told you. I'm here to hold you accountable. I'm here to tell it as it is. You
I
have
have
an
a lot of
apartment.
ratio.
You
I
have
have
an
a
apartment
lot of
so they
that.
so that the thing you met the next day or 2 days later can come back and hook up some nice food and cook. You got the
Yeah,
kitchen there. She can, right.
Right.
You can't
Right.
do all that when it's a hotel.
yeah. That is why
Yeah,
it's very
Oh
good
yeah. Right.
for Airbnb.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but
Absolutely.
I'll most definitely plan a trip to Miami and Toronto too as well, because I
Got
want
to.
to do some shopping. We
So, what
were
are you gonna?
supposed
Now,
to.
you gonna visit any other place in the states besides Miami, or are you just gonna be specifically Miami?
Miami, like I'm
You know,
just
Miami's
like
not America, brother. It's
tell me
definitely
about
not
it.
America, brother. It's definitely not America.
Tell me about it.
Latin, Latin. It's Latin city,
That's a Cuban city
Okay,
right there altogether.
let me answer
city.
Ty Cromwell's comment. He says, "Supreme Leader, explain why you think the preconceived towards black men doesn't exist. Maybe I'm wrong."
Wait, what is he talking about?
Explain what?
He wants to know about the discrimination thing. Like people talk about discrimination in Brazil,
Can I
and I'm
can I
trying
can
to.
I can I speak to that because
I think
you've been getting a lot of that talk lately,
yes,
and listen,
yes.
let me speak on this.
All right.
Here's the thing: discrimination exists everywhere.
That's facts.
That's
Yeah.
facts. It exists everywhere. Brazil is no different. But the thing about Brazil is that it ain't the kind of discrimination or racism that you incur here in North America. You know what I'm saying? It's different. It ain't like you gotta worry that, if you get pulled over by the police that you're gonna get shot.
Right.
right? Or they're out to get you because you're black. It ain't that kind of discrimination. Okay. Uh, like my girl is she's Brazilian. All right. And I remember her telling me when I was in Brazil, she was like, if you get pulled over by the police, you just make sure that you don't you're not carrying too much money, right? You're not carrying too much money on you. Okay.
What you
So
got to bribe the cops over there?
it ain't like you gotta bribe them. It's that they just may take that shit.
Right, I got you. I got
Okay, right, for whatever reason, right? They may, for whatever reason, they may say they're gonna confiscate that, or like asking you a bunch of questions, and
you. Right,
you know before you know it, you're like taking shit out of your hand, and they're speaking different language, and if not following along, you're just like, what's going on right now, right? You're just like, what's
right,
happening? What's that? What's going on? What's going on?
right,
So that's pretty much the worst of it. Like, and for me, I've said in the comments under my man's channel, I'm like, if that's the worst I've got to worry about, fine, take the money.
right,
Like, you know what I mean? As long as it's not like you're out to like freaking kill me because of the color of my skin,
right,
right?
Yeah,
Like, let's be honest. Yeah, the cops over there, police over there, just in general, right? They're not making a whole lot of money, right? So
right,
they're just out to eat. They're just out to eat. They're out to, so it ain't like they're trying to freaking like shoot you because they see that, oh, this black person's driving. So discrimination, racism exists everywhere, but it's not
I
like
mean, I guess what you're trying to say is it's all about degrees of it.
it's all about degrees. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
also one more thing, it also depends a lot on where you are living. For example, here in Brasilia, they make a lot of money, which is the police people here. They make a lot of money, and they respect people a lot. Even you can just imagine somebody who is a criminal or somebody who like has a very bad record. When they like that person is being arrested, whether it's black or yellow or white, they treat that kind of person with so much respect. Like my 10 years of living here, I have never been stopped. And if you've been to Brazil, you know what I'm talking about. Here, to own an ordinary car is very expensive. Although a whole lot of people have cars.
right,
Okay, as a black man, I'm riding in a Mercedes. Okay, but I have never ever go through any hassle. Like hassle is out of the thing. And the kind of discrimination people talk about social discrimination, like social, how do I say this? Like the level, like somebody is making more money and somebody like these social standards. Yeah, I'm talking about social standards. This is the kind of discrimination maybe people go through. But this kind of discrimination, everybody goes through it. The white guy who is a cleaner is going through it. The mixed guy who uh, is a security man is going through it. But here in Brazil, each and every single person has a black family. Each and every single black family has a white family. Each and every black guy has a mixed family. So it becomes very difficult to do what? To discriminate against yeah, against somebody. But the fact is, some people will say they still were being discriminated against. But let me say this.
I mean, do you get one question? Do you get in these conversations with a lot of Afro Brazilians about the situation there? I mean,
Yes,
just
yes, I've been talking to a lot. Like I have some friends like the ones I brought online. No, the ones I did the video with. Most of them consider themselves to be black, like I said. But if you deeply go into it, you find out that they are all mixed people. They are not actually black like us. You understand what I'm saying? But here they simply consider themselves to be black people. And when you ask them, okay, you being a black person, what is your challenges? majority will just see the hair.
No, but I
Even
think what Brian, correct me if I'm wrong, Brian, but are you asking if my man is getting into conversations and like private conversations with
Like really,
other?
probably, like let's say get in the heart of the matter of the situation. Why do you feel discriminated against? Like I would say he would probably have a better conversation with the probably people who live in the northeast of Bahia. They might have a different perception about race in Brazil versus what you might be experiencing in Brasilia. You know what I mean? Since I remember there's not many black folks in Brasilia in comparison to places like in the northeast.
True, but then can you really use the responses that you get from Afro Brazilians in a place like Bahia where it's the majority
Black, right?
of,
Black and mixed
yeah,
race, right?
yeah, are you gonna lean on that to say that
I
represents all
mean,
of?
I wouldn't say that I represent all of Brazil, but I will get more of a understanding of the nuances among the different populations there.
Mm,
You know what I mean?
yes,
Um,
but I have spoken to a lot of Black Brazilian people, and for example, when I first came to Brazil, I was working at the construction field, and to be frank with you, I hardly even come across Black Brazilians working as laborers at the construction field. You hardly come across them, and when you come across them, most of them are responsible.
right.
You understand? Like most of these black Brazilian people are responsible people. Like you get them working at like good places.
Now, one
You
question at the
understand?
heart. I have one question. I think I asked you this a long time ago. When I, typing. Now, do Black Brazilians have like well, here in the United States? After I'll consider that after that Holocaust, short little Holocaust we had in this country, right? We had to
Yeah.
set up colleges and universities and
Mm.
our different Howards. We even had something in Tulsa, Oklahoma, like a Black Wall Street. Until that got destroyed and obliterated out of history, and then you have to pretty much read up on history books. Um, you know what I mean? When you have black folks, and still to this day, to a certain degree, we're doing things and having our own institutions from the dominant society. I mean, because at that time we was experiencing discrimination, so we set up our own schools, we set up our own colleges, which we do have, especially in the southern region of the United States, where a lot of African Americans live. Um, old black universities, and some of them still continue to be very, very good universities. Now, I was just wondering, have Afro Brazilians or mulattoes, whatever you might classify them be, have they set up shop like we have over here?
do they have their own businesses?
Like
Okay.
businesses, universities,
Oh,
I
like
think
that.
all that type of
I
stuff.
did some
Yeah.
video about this
Like
particular.
have you ever heard of Prodigy Howard University?
Of course.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Because
I got a friend that used to coach there,
Right, right.
Tyrone.
so like
Spelman, all those different colleges, traditional African American colleges. Well, Black American
okay,
colleges.
here mostly the colleges and the universities out here are mostly government universities, and also
That's what I was gonna say.
Right,
if you come across some universities and colleges which are private ones, they are owned by group of companies. You hardly see these kind of things owned by one particular person or something, because here you pay a crazy tax if you own such things, and nobody is ready to go through this crazy tax alone. So most of the time, these kind of institutions, when you come across them, they are being owned by group of companies who are rich. And this, when you go into this group of companies, you find out that there are a whole lot of people who call themselves black, and
right.
like rich people who they simply call themselves black. But if you look at them, you just say, nah, you are not black, you are mixed. If you want to get a typical black like me, it's a very difficult task. You understand what I'm saying?
It
Like,
seems like
yeah,
as far as politically, they haven't really, I wouldn't say moved up in comparison to the United States. Um, you
okay.
know,
I am
they
working for
right,
I am working for a political party, and most of my colleagues are black people.
Right.
in this particular political party that I'm working for. And they are very, very, like I said, most of the black people, if you see like a typical black person who looks like me, who is a Brazilian, most of them are very, very responsible. But the ones who look a little bit some kind of way, like some kind of mix, who is a little bit dark, like looks Indian.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are the ones. If you see them, like they look like dirty and stuff like that. Like
Right.
they are not black. You understand? But if you come across a black person who looks like me and is Brazilian, come on, most definitely, like majority of them are super responsible.
I
You
would
understand?
say in the United States, the first supposedly, I know you. This is controversial. I might get
Yeah.
slammed by my fellow Afrans about it. Black American congressman actually looked like a white dude. His name was Adam Clayton Powell. However, by him declaring himself, a person of African ancestry, he pretty much opened a way for other black people to get into, in power of government, here. So it's kind of like,
I'm reading a comment out here. Shayla says
go
Brazil
ahead.
is 51% black and 49% white. But the white still dominate in America. America blacks are only 13%, but they have moved up socially. Let me make some things clear out here, Sheila.
Right.
Sheila, the kind of black people you are talking about, they are not the kind of black people we are really like. I'm really
Oh my God.
gonna say they are
Oh
black.
shit.
Don't start.
Don't start
You
that, bro.
get,
Don't
Don't
start that,
start
bro. Don't
that.
start that, bro.
Don't
wait.
start that. I'm
Don't
gonna come through
start
this
that.
camera right now. I'm gonna come through this camera, end up over there in Brasilia, and
I told
smack you.
like I was telling you before. If you
Don't.
Google, hold on for 1 second. If you
Let's
Google,
not. Oh God, please don't. Let's go there.
yeah,
Let's
hold
not
on,
go there.
Supreme Leader. If you
Yeah,
Google
I'm
Adam Clayton
here.
Powell, right? Just Google him and see how way he
Yeah.
looked. He looked like the guy from goddamn Walt Disney, but he considered himself a black man. But he was one of the first African American people who helped other people move up into the ladder as far as politics in the United States, especially back in the 19, late 60s and 70s and all that.
Mm.
And then after that, we pretty much set up our own congressional black Congress. I don't think they do shit, but they talk a lot of game, and especially against Trump nowadays. But we have those type of caucuses in this country.
I
You
like.
know,
I,
like I said,
don't get this mess. Don't get him started on what is black and what's not
I
black.
know, because it's gonna go all different
It's
ways,
gonna
bro.
go left.
Yeah, yeah.
We ain't gonna have that. We're not gonna go there, man.
yeah,
Let's
but
just.
I mean, he
you
knows
must,
my opinion on,
Look,
on that.
no, you don't
yeah,
need so.
me
So
too.
you see the people, you understand what I'm saying. So you like,
Me too.
it's like
Listen,
the
brother
fun
man,
is this,
supreme
like,
leader.
you have black
Listen,
people,
stop right.
like,
Let me over in North America, right? We
mm,
we you said so yourself. The racism, discrimination out here, it's real.
it's real.
Like
It's 100%
it's
real.
real.
Like,
Right.
see
It's
it
real. It's the tip of the spear. Okay?
It's the
because
yeah.
here, if you
Yeah,
I
do
mean,
it's the tip of the spear.
actually,
dead thing.
it depends on where you live in the United States, because certain areas are a lot better when it comes down to. I wouldn't say everybody getting along, but certain areas are better than others. I just want to
Sure.
get that clear, because
Brody,
Yeah, but I'm
are
just
you?
talking as a whole. I'm
yeah,
just speaking in general. I guess as a whole, just general terms,
right.
right?
Go ahead.
That it's it's next level. Okay, and so uh, white people, for the most part, don't get into separating or dissecting whether whether this person is a quarter black or
That's true.
50% black.
Right.
They see black features, whether it's just the hair, or it's just the nose,
Nose. Right.
whatever, and you're black. You ain't
Okay,
white.
this is what
You're
I'm
black.
saying.
Right.
if
So
you
that's our
accept,
definition. We've accepted, at least me. I accept like, hey, you're mixed,
if you
great,
see
but
a
you
mixed
black
person, if
because
you
you
see a
ain't
mixed
white.
person,
Right.
yeah, if you see a mixed
I
person,
mean,
you just tell
I would say like this. I'll say like this supremely. If,
simple.
like, I would never, even though he has African American heritage, is an actor named Wentworth Miller. Okay, he looks like a white guy to me. I would never, even though he has relatives who look mulatto or black. But in reality, even though he looks white, I would not consider him part of me because his experiences will be different because he's able to look, he looks white in the white classes. However, if you talk about somebody like Boris Cujo, who is,
Mm,
part white and part black from Ghana, he looked like a very typical person in the African American community. He could blend in. Nobody would not know the difference.
right, right. It's just different. It's different
Right.
out. It's
It
different
is a
out.
different mindset.
It's different out there.
Right.
No, like I
Like,
And
said,
but
Prodigy is absolutely dead on when it comes down to that. What he just now
we
said.
black people have simply made it so easy and cheap that
so easy to
anybody
what?
can like easy and cheap that we just make it easy for them to call anybody black. You don't do that. They are not black, they are mixed. And you have to make it clear that this
They're
person
mixed
is
with
mixed,
black though.
this person is white.
There you go.
They're mixed with black, brother.
Black, right, right, bro.
Like
Why
like
can't you call them white? And
like
why are you calling them
if you put milk in my coffee, it
what do
ain't
you
milk.
get?
It's still coffee. It's just
Nah,
coffee with some milk in it.
Right,
nah,
exactly.
it's a coffee with milk.
Yeah, but
It's
it's
a
still a
coffee
cup of
with milk.
coffee.
It's still a cup of coffee, bro.
You cannot see ash and you can you simply tell me that it's black.
Brother man.
Black and white
Uh,
comes together, it comes
Yo,
black. You get the
we
color
we
ash. You
Well,
cannot
I'll
hey,
say
look
it
at
like
black
this.
and believe
You
it's
know,
black.
I'll say this, Supreme Lord. It's a location, location, location.
in terms of what?
In terms of what people consider what and what given society.
Yeah.
That's just facts.
Yeah, no, they
That's
enforce these
facts.
things like
That's
they
facts and
make
reality. Like
people
I said,
enforce
you also
people to
have to
believe
look
it.
at the history. Until you look at the history and read about the history to a certain group of people or certain nation, then you will understand how the way things are
Yeah.
and how the way it developed into that. It didn't just happen like overnight.
Yeah, because you
It
cannot
happened.
simply
It
And it
happened for many different generations.
yeah, and
DNA, and
Well,
it ain't just cut
DNA
and
is
dry.
actually true, bro, because I found a
no,
person. No,
forget
listen what I'm
about
saying. Listen what I'm
DNA.
saying. Listen what I'm saying.
I don't believe
Listen.
DNA.
Now you cutting
These
me off.
things were
Listen
being
what
created
I'm
by
saying.
white
Listen what
people,
I'm saying.
and I
I
don't
did
believe
ancestry.
it.
I say like I did
I see if I
ancestry.com.
see you look white,
No, I'm
you
not talking
are
about
mixed.
that. I'm not talking about.
Yeah,
Listen what I'm saying.
okay,
Listen what I'm saying. Listen what I'm saying.
okay.
I did ancestry.com. And I found out
You
all types of.
yourself?
Yeah, I did. I did that
Oh, okay.
shit. I mean, I was kind of disappointed in a lot of different results there. Let me just tell you that.
You don't have to believe that, my brother. I'm
But,
telling you, you don't
but,
have to
but,
believe
listen
that.
what I'm saying. Listen what I'm saying, though. They have something called what they call, your cousins, your DNA cousins. People who match you. You know
Uh,
that I found my uncle, or she found me, and she was adopted, right?
Mm,
And that was when we found out that she was my uncle's daughter. You know what I mean?
okay.
If I did not do that DNA test, and on Ancestry.com, she would never have found about her father, who is my uncle.
but trust me, you don't have to believe all these things
What
because
I'm
what
saying is it's true.
they
It's facts,
created,
bro. It's facts.
you know, they create these kind of things and then they force it on you for you to believe it. Because a very good example is looking at mixed people and you quiet and simply accept the fact that they are black. What do you
I say it
mean they
like
are
this.
mixed?
Well, I mean, if
What
I
do you
do
mean they are
that,
mixed?
right? Listen, what I'm saying supremely. If I do that, that means I'll
Mhm.
separate myself from my grandmother, who probably might look in your eyes.
No, you cannot.
No,
Let
you
me
know,
make some.
you know what I mean. Like I'm black
If
and
your
she's some type of
grandmother,
mixed race.
no, let me make some things clear out here. If your grandmother is mixed, she's still your grandmother, but she is not black. She's mixed. Period. You love the people you love, but you have to make sure you make them understand this is what you are, but I love you
So
regardless.
you don't when you look at your daughter, I know she's mixed, but
Hmm.
you know how like you know Brian, you can probably attest to this. Like a lot of mixed kids, especially in the United States, Canada, I'm sure too,
Highness is
they
the
have this identity crisis at some point, maybe
criteria.
not all of them, but some,
Right.
and they come and they're confused. Am I white or am I black?
Black. Right.
Which
Right.
race do I belong to or do I identify with? Did you, so
Somebody
brother
is doing
Supreme?
one of
So
my sweet
so
sisters. Yeah,
so if your daughter she approaches you later in
yeah,
life and she's having this identity crisis because she's like, I don't
yeah,
know, am I white, am I black, which race do I belong to or do I
yeah,
identify with?
yeah.
What what you would say? What
She's mixed because in Africa we call
is
people
that a
from
race
both.
though?
They are race, yes. They are hybrids.
Hybrids sound like some type of Hitler shit, bro.
Yeah, man.
some type
Yeah,
of some type of
That
Nazi shit right there, brother.
I'm
like
talking
this is
about the
what
I mean,
race.
hybrid is
because
kind
I'm
of
going to
like,
make it.
like when you talk
Yeah,
about
yeah.
hybrid, you're talking about mixing different
Because I'm going to make
species.
it very
It's
clear.
just,
I'm going to make it very clear. You are not black, you are not white, you are mixed. So you can claim both sides, but you cannot claim one side, period.
all right. How do you feel about
Because
admixture?
we
What's
have to
supreme
listen,
leader?
we
The
have to
supreme
make,
leader. Go ahead.
yeah,
How do
we
you
have
feel
to make
about?
some things clear. Okay, we have to start making things clear. This is the time. This is why we have YouTube and stuff like that. We are going to
Right.
use the platform to educate people to change that brainwashed mind. How can you see somebody who is from two races and then you just assume simply that the person is from one particular race? Meanwhile, you see it clearly that this person is from two different races. And because the white people say he's black, that's it. You also, as a black man, you accept this? Come on, you are even making
Like
things
I
worse
told you
for us.
before, supreme leader, history and
Yeah.
location. History and location again. Different realities, different histories, different experiences, bro.
Yeah, man.
Sheila is laughing because I said hybrid.
Yeah, hybrid sound like some type of Hitler shit. Some type
Yeah,
of like you're mixing a
I don't
dog
know
and a
about.
goddamn cat or something like
I
that mixed
know
with human beings,
in
bro.
a lab or something.
Yeah,
These are,
exactly.
you know,
Hybrid, a genetic
Hmm.
hybrid.
hybrid.
That ain't no race, right?
Good. Tana, yes, Tana is saying something. She says black people can't even agree what is black. That is the problem. You agree that you are black. Somebody who is mixed is mixed. Period. We move like this. We educate the children. If we have mixed children, we let them know. We educate them. We let them know. If somebody say they are black, you look at them and laugh and say you are mixed. Period. What they push it. They create books. They let you read those books. They let before they
What
No, I
book?
impart
mean no. What I'm saying to
What
you,
book did you
supreme,
political
read? What
right,
book
right,
did you read?
right, exactly.
What
No,
book?
supreme leader. Listen,
Yeah,
what I'm talking
Yeah,
about. It's experience. Like I told you before, black people in the United States and mixed people, due to discrimination, and they didn't see no difference. We had a form of unity here, and we had to form. That's what I'm saying. But
the kind
if
of
you
unity. Let me
unity,
make
that's what
something
I'm.
clear
You're
out
not
here.
listening. You're not getting it because
The ideology,
you don't
good
understand
white
the history.
supremacy ideology.
Right. What I'm saying
Uh,
is, we were, pretty much at siege for our own existence here, bro. That shit was real for those people back then. I mean, both blacks and mixed people pretty much got, hung,
yeah,
killed,
yeah,
murdered, raped
yeah.
throughout the whole entire South. I mean, you kind of joking, crinching your face about it, but that shit was fucking real. So we
yeah,
had to
we
organize.
know
We had
about
to.
this.
That's what I'm saying. We
We
had
know
to
about this
organize. That's
story.
what I'm saying.
Like
I know, but
we
still,
know about this
we
stories,
had to
but then
organize. We had to organize ourselves
hmm,
strategically to fight the goddamn system that we had no fault of being in, just being sold to slavery. And that's just real talk, bro.
And we just look at it. We just look at it as one. because
Right, right. Because
when we're
right now,
facing when we're
right.
facing
But, but
the same oppression and the same
that is why,
backlash, the same
listen,
discrimination, the same
I mean,
racism.
that's what something you really don't understand, and I can understand
Yeah,
because you're coming from it. This is what I'm saying. You're coming from it from a point of view in Ghana, okay? You
yeah,
lived in probably what northern Ghana because that's what a lot of the houses and stuff like that people live at. From that
yes.
area, right? So you're coming from that perspective, but
yeah,
you have to get out of your own comfort zone and look at another person's perspective on
yeah.
situation. Like,
Just
for
totally.
example, if I go to Ghana, right, I
Yeah.
would learn about the situation being among the different ethnic groups there, whether it be Fanti, Ashanti, Hausa. Maybe it might be a little bit not sure about it, religious differences. One got Christianized by Europeans, and you became your group of people become a Muslim. The tribal differences there, I will understand and read about the tribal nuances there.
Let me tell you something. Okay.
What I'm saying is
Even,
the problem. The problem with you is you
yeah.
cannot get out of your comfort zone and look at things from another person's perspective.
No, I'm not.
I
I'm making.
100% agree, bro. I still love
Let
you,
me.
but
Yeah, we still
that's
love
I
you.
facts.
know, bro. I love
That's
you too,
facts.
but I have to make some things clear out here.
Go ahead.
When you go to Africa, okay, when
Which
you
I've
go to
Right, but
been.
what I'm saying is when we go to
any part of
Africa,
Africa,
I say it
apart
like
from North
this. Right, right. Apart from North Africa, the Horn of
apart from
Africa,
North
like I said,
Africa,
if you say that to an Ethiopian and mix, they're gonna
yeah.
kick your ass.
When you get there and you are mixed, when you get there and you are mixed. Today I had some comment. A lady was asking me, uh, is she going to feel comfortable when she goes to Africa because she is mixed? How is it
Right.
going to be like? And I was like, of course you're going to feel comfortable. But the question you have to, no, the thing you have to know is they simply consider people who mixed people, wealthy people. Okay, you get special treatment for that, and they make it very clear for you to understand that you are not black. So if you want to understand what is black, try and travel to Africa.
Yeah, I've been,
Go there,
bro. I've been to
so you
Africa. I've
understand.
been to Africa, and I know
Perfect.
how the way people feel about. I mean, it's
Good.
no big thing. Like when I hear Nigerians call somebody, oh, a light skinned
They don't
Nigerian.
hate. They
Listen, what
don't
I'm saying.
hate.
They will say they don't
Yeah,
hate.
they don't
They'll
hate
just
black.
say,
They
oh,
don't
he's
hate
light
these
skinned,
people.
but
They
homeboy
don't
over
hate, but
here, I know
they
that. What I'm
make it
saying.
very clear.
Right, they say homeboy over here is half caste. No issue about
Yes,
that. But
they
that's
don't. They
their
don't. They
what,
don't
what
they're
listen
not.
what I'm saying. Listen what I'm saying. Listen what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's their system. When you go
That's
to another
their
country,
Yeah, that's their
right, when you
scope. Their
right, their scope on how the way
binoculars.
they
They're
look
looking
at
through
things.
it very, like they're looking at it in within their scope. This is how they see it.
Right.
But we know, and you too, brother, you got to realize that once you get out of Africa, there's different ways of looking at life.
Right.
No, let me
You know what I
let me.
mean?
Exactly. What I'm saying, what
You
I'm
can't look at it within that
right.
same narrow scope.
Right. Well, what I'm saying to you, yeah, go ahead.
Just like you just said yourself in a video you made, I think in the last 24 hours,
Right.
you said, and I'm quoting you now. You said that black people we can't expect and have this attitude that why are black people or Afro Brazilians scared of dating other Afro Brazilians, other black people, and
Right.
you're in Brazil, like
You do what the Romans do, right?
it's mostly mixed people. So what do you expect? Are you gonna travel back to Africa to date or get with somebody, or are you gonna keep your balls in your pants? I was laughing like
Oh yeah,
you're not gonna.
I was cracking up with that one.
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
you're not gonna
Yeah,
date.
I
You're
was
not
at
gonna.
work when I said, be honest with you, I was snooping at
Okay.
work looking at that.
Right? Yeah, it's the
What
same thing. You can't look at it purely just like, oh, you're not black like me, so you ain't black. Like,
I mean, because people
it's
in the United States are gonna look at you weird.
yeah, that's a
Yeah.
fact. Like,
What?
if you stay in Brazil for the rest of your life, okay, sure, you can keep to that. But if you're traveling, you want to travel, you gotta expand
Horizons,
your
right?
horizons and your perspective.
I have traveled around the world. Okay. I
Which is
have.
why I'm surprised you still share this perception
Wait,
of
wait.
that,
Yeah,
like,
man.
Let me
Yeah, it's
make,
kind of
let,
like
like,
weird.
oh,
Yeah,
if
let me
you're,
make some things clear. Okay. Let me make some things clear out
yeah.
here. why people travel to any part of the world, they make sure green is green, black is black. When that,
Yes,
let
yes,
me,
black is
let me,
black. And your daughter,
let me,
when they look at your daughter, they see a black girl.
land. Let me land.
Right.
Why people, when they travel with what they want you to know and understand, period. You can tell them, they'll say, okay. But if they are going to do, they'll do their way. This is how they dominated the world. So if I am from Africa, I come outside and I tell you I'm not black, even when you put the gun on my head, I'll still say you are not black.
Hmm.
Period. Because when you come to
Who's not black?
black,
Yeah, I guess he's
no,
talking about mixed people, or
you can
you know.
simply blend in when you go to Africa because most definitely when you go to Ghana, somebody can simply consider you to be maybe a tree or
But how
uh,
you know how you know he don't have mixed ancestry though?
oh, because he looks like me. You
Right,
don't need
exactly. But you do have
to look like
people. What, you're not
You
listening.
can't go by just like he looks like.
Looks like that, right? You got people who are genetically, like I gave you a perfect example, Don Cheeto. You know, he
Cheetah,
has,
cheetah, yeah,
yeah, he's 20%, 20%. You know, have European ancestry.
yeah.
You know, so it's just what it is.
me. What you know? What I don't like hearing. Listen, what I don't like hearing is
Right.
DNA scientists. They told us the world is round. We asked them questions. They didn't answer that question. They say they have been to the space. We asked them questions. We didn't get any proof, but
They
all the
spend,
time they
they go to
give us
space all the time, bro.
pictures.
You ever heard of Elon Musk and see the cameras they be having on there?
Let me tell, forget about those things
Oh,
are
dude.
set
Come
up.
on
So they
now.
are making our money.
Don't sound
Bruh.
superstitious, bro.
That's why I'm staying quiet. I'm like, what's my man? What's he talking about?
Yeah, I'm
I'm
like,
like,
don't
what's he
sound
talking about?
superstitious, man.
Hold
Don't
on a second.
sound unscientific, bro.
I don't even want to go to that side.
And you're talking about science and DNA. You're gonna ignore that shit?
I don't even want to go
Yeah,
to that
yeah,
side
yeah.
because when you talk about science, sometimes it doesn't even make sense. Have they discovered the sea, the earth itself? Have they discovered
You're talking
it?
about as far as the bottom, the bottom of the sea.
You haven't discovered even the sea or the land. You are going to tell me that you have discovered something up there. Come on, you
Have
can
you
be
ever been to
serious.
a
Where is
planetarium?
the end of the? When is the
Have you been to a
where is the
planetarium
end
yet,
of the
brother?
sea? Hold on a second. Have they ever shown us the end of the sea?
All right.
If the world is round, then the sea should fall off the space. You cannot tell me because there is a what do you call it
For
gravity.
for a guy that
There.
for a
Forget we are
man
talking about reality,
for a
guys.
man for a man
We are
that
only here
in
for
his videos keeps saying in all his videos that I accept everybody. I don't look at anybody differently.
Mm,
I everybody is equal, the same, no matter what your
right.
religion, you're
I,
Christian, you're a Muslim.
I respect that. Like
I'm amazed that you're so hung up. You allow yourself your
Flying
thinking to be
pieces.
so you put this ceiling in that like, well, they're mixed, so they're not
mhm,
black.
they are not black.
But
Yeah,
hey,
in a
that's
million years they
fine.
are not black.
That's fine. I
That's fine.
hear
I mean,
you.
right, right.
I
But what
hear
I'm
you.
saying, but
I always say this: if I
go ahead.
become a leader in Africa, if I become a
You
leader,
mean a leader in Ghana,
no, I'm talking about in
or you
Africa.
plan on being? I mean, there's 54 countries, brother.
If I okay, let's use Ghana as a very good example. Okay, let's use Ghana as a very good example. If I become a leader in Ghana, for example, a whole lot of things is like will change.
What
A
would you
whole lot
do?
of
I
things.
mean, because
Like what? Like what are you
I
talking
know
about?
that Ghana have don't
I
Ghana
cannot.
have a hold on for 1 second, Supreme Court. Don't Ghana have a system of checks and balances like the United States? It's hard to change things unless you're a king or something, or become a
No,
dictator.
hold on a second. Hold on a second. There is a whole lot of ways to change things. I'm the supreme leader.
This guy.
Oh
Guys,
my God.
I'm the supreme
This thing.
leader. You are,
I had to say it, man. I've been holding my tongue. I've been holding my tongue, man.
Oh man, he's said it. He said it.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the algorithm. So the YouTube algorithm.
Yeah, brother.
So
I mean, Supreme Leader's a little bit out there. He's a
I
little bit
know.
out
I
there.
know.
Brother
I
man
know.
is out there, bro. A little bit
I know.
superstitious, but out there. He was talking about voodoo and stuff like that. I said, oh, what the fuck is he?
Oh no, no, no,
And
it's
and
not voodoo.
magic a couple
Okay,
days ago.
you know, for you to be able to change the system, there should be small sacrifices. You understand? So we are going to change the
So you
system.
believe in some type of dictator, like running a country like a dictatorship.
No, no, no.
No, I don't think so. Yeah.
It's
Right.
no. I don't do dictatorship stuffs. But
Because
like,
with a lot of things, like for example, for the
you understand?
democratic system we have now, it's a lot of checks and balances. Like let's say for example, I hate to say it, Biden. Not too many people are really enthusiastic that he's running, but some people might feel he's the only option, and he might make all these different promises. But when he
Mm,
get in there and he try to make those promises, it's going to be other political parties who's going to be against him. For him to make that changes. A good example for in the United States is our healthcare system. We did get a healthcare system, but it's not exactly how the way we want it, like the Canadian system or European system or whatnot. It's still a whole lot of red tape and stuff that you have to deal with. But what I'm saying is, even as a president or leader in any different countries, it's going to be hard to change a system that's already been built. You're going to have to shatter that down, and just remake it over again. And that sometimes requires like Castro style become a dictatorship and
Mm.
have things your way.
But in Brazil,
Right.
like, um, correct me if I'm wrong. This is just my thinking, but
okay.
like in here in North America, you want to do something. You want to I don't know, whatever. You want to build something. You want to create something. There's all this red tape, right? There's all
Right.
these like licenses and certifications and this and that you've got to show
Right.
and prove. Correct me if I'm wrong, brother, but in Brazil, it's just so much more.
Bureaucracy.
It's so much more straighter. Am I wrong? In Brazil,
No,
like if you got the money and you like wanted to build a university that you say this is a black university and it's a private university, it's black university predominantly, you could do that. Am I right? Am I wrong?
it's actually not possible
It's
because
not possible.
it's not
Right.
possible. I'm telling you the fact because uh, I work for a political party and I know how they simply think. Okay, here, let me say something. Even though they have this kind of belief that there is still racism existing, but when you come to this kind of segregation thing, they are very serious about it. Like,
Right.
they don't want it to happen.
Okay, all inclusive.
Like I said in some of my videos, each and every single family has all race in it. You understand? You can see a complete looking white guy, but when he's going to show you his grandmother, she's black. You understand? So because of this kind of thing, they are very, very serious about this kind of thing. If you call somebody black and they have maybe they record you on camera, you are going to
In
regret.
other words, you're saying in other words, people would pay, as far as using type of any type of racial epithets, people would pay
Yeah,
consequences of doing that.
yes, they face it because it's two things: you go to jail, or they are going to make you pay some huge amount of money. Like, it is serious. It's not a common crime. If it's even more than you have killed somebody. Like, here, there are some certain really they don't joke about it at all. Like, you say something like to somebody, especially in racial stuff. So, like, if you want to open a black school, what are you trying to mean? You understand what I'm saying? Even
I mean,
here,
like
they
I
have
said, when it comes down
special,
to it, right?
yeah,
When it comes down,
they
right?
have special space like saved, no, not, saved or saved, yeah, saved for black people. Like, if a top university, okay, you are black and you want to study in a top university, your chances of even going to that university is super high. when you like you qualified, or sometimes even you are not qualified, okay, and the position is there for you to be part of the university. They'll just give you the chance to do it because you are black. Because they set some kind of system that they are trying to make sure that like that kind of
I know what you're talking about. You're talking about like affirmative action type of thing.
yes, they are trying to make sure that they erase that kind of thinking of racial stuff. You understand? Like they want to make sure equality works. You understand what I'm saying? Although, like I said, there are
They
people
doing what
who
they call affirmative action, bro. That's what they
yes,
doing.
Okay.
because I know a whole lot of people who, like I said before, most of the black people who look like me, most of them are responsible people. You understand? Like what? Responsible people. Like the party that I work for, most of the leaders are black people from Bahia. You understand? And even the president we have for the party is not white,
What do they talk about
mixed guy.
mostly? What do they talk about? I mean, you don't have to tell us deeply because I know it's pretty much probably like a
Oh no,
closed door
it's
thing.
okay. It's okay. What we do is we educate people about politics and also equality too as well. We have a lot of like workshops. You know, like we organize like it's like we educate people about equality, about politics, what is really politics, like the perception people have about politics. We try to teach them the negative side and also the positive side. So far, we are the only political party here who has a foundation, like institution which uh, offer free
Right.
education to like people and stuff like that. So automatically we are the kind of political party which help people to understand what politics is about and all that, like this kind of thing. You understand? So it is. I know more about these kind of things, but sometimes it's online, so there are some things you just have to
Yeah.
simply
No,
keep it.
Yeah.
you can't talk about that,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
That's
understandable, bro.
basically it.
But
But
most we do is offer free education to people who don't really know much about politics and stuff like that. Yeah.
I guess okay. So let me restate that. In Brazil, compared to North America, my belief or thinking is that it's easier to set up shop if you wanted to like
Yeah.
open up a business. You wanted to build on a land. You want to get some land. You want to buy it. You pay for it. Done. You want to build.
Yeah.
You hire people. You do what you're gonna do. Done. It's not like there's all this like
Bureaucracy.
yeah,
There
yeah.
are some kind of things that you go through a lot of bureaucracy, like something that is going to get a little of the system.
Right.
Like for example, when you talk about university colleges,
Okay.
they make a little part of the system because people who are going to study over there most definitely will end up, maybe some of them will be politicians and stuff like that. So these kind
What
of
okay,
things,
what about if it's not a university? It's just like a school, like you it's like a
A community
a
college or
daycare
something.
center.
not even that, just like let's just
Trade
call it
a
like
trade school.
not even trade school. I'm thinking more like you want to just educate black Brazilians, for example, on the history and whatever, maybe Africa, just African studies, black studies, whatever you want to call it.
Oh,
Just like
you can do
I
that
mean, the
one
thing
because
about Afro, what
they
I
will
what
allow
right,
you
and they're gonna
to
pay
like
you privately. They're gonna pay.
like you want to open some cultural institution, like some cultural school to educate people about cultural differences,
Hmm.
like about Africa. You
Hmm.
can do it.
the
They will
thing
even
about
support
go
you
ahead.
to
But the
do
thing
it
about Brazilians, what I
because
like
they want
about
to be
them,
part of it.
hold on for 1 second. The thing I like about Brazilians is they have a lot of what we call, or what scholars call African retention, especially in places like Bahia. Certain, uh, I hate to use this expression, African fetishes, as far as, the old belief systems. The martial arts that they do there that I heard originally came from Angola, capoeira. I mean, they have a lot of that, and been rumored. I don't know how true it is that some people
Oh,
in
it is
Bahia
true. It
speak.
is true. I know a whole lot of people who are practicing the capoeira.
Right.
Even my wife's little sister
She practiced that.
husband studied here. He was, studying how to do this capoeira thing.
Right.
And I will bring him. I will interview him because he is Indian.
Right.
He's a Brazilian Indian. So I'm even planning to bring him to interview him a little bit. But I think I will need a lot of questions from you guys too as well because I don't really know what you guys want to know about these Indians here in Brazil and stuff
Oh,
like
that's
that.
a good question. As
I,
far as how do
I
he feel? How do he feel about the Amazon situation? I mean, that's kind of like a
good.
big hot topic.
I need a whole lot of questions to ask him. So if you have some questions,
I
you
mean, how do
can
you feel about the
maybe
Amazon situation? I mean, as far
the
as
Amazon situation.
right,
I think it is not a good idea for the forests to be destroyed because if you look at the planet, we have lost a whole lot of things
right.
like natural stuff that protects the earth. We have lost a lot of them,
I mean, what
and
about it might be two shades of the argument right there. Let's say if I lived in somewhere in Fuelas in Rio, and it's a hard argument. If some business guy told me go to the Amazon, we give you land, help us cut down this forest, and if I had 10 kids in a little shack, what do you want me to do?
hold on a second. Hold on a second. First of all, people who live here have so many options. You understand? Like they have system, even though they say the system is corrupt,
Right.
but they have a lot of benefit system designed for them. If you don't have money, there is free education for you. If you don't have money, there are government institutions which can help you to pay your bills and to sustain yourself in some ways until you get a job. They have all these things, and they have institutions which can even help you to get a job. So you have no excuse to do such things because there are systems putting in place which are working, even for foreigners. So you can imagine you being a Brazilian.
I wish I could say the
Even
same. I wish I could
it's
say the
not right.
same for the United States in regards because we have a lot of, especially the state I live in. It's mainly throughout the whole entire West Coast. A lot of homeless now. I mean, sometimes I'm wondering, am I in North America or if I'm in a third world
Yeah.
country? That's how really deep, especially homelessness, has become in California and throughout the West Coast. Oregon too and Washington.
Okay, here
I
they
mean,
have
we
something they call
now we do
evasion.
have systems. Now we do have systems, but is it working for everybody?
But here
Right.
it's simple. It's simple. It works for everybody. So it is simply up to you to choose the correct thing to do. You understand? Like my wife, she's a
I
social
mean,
worker.
does this system? I mean, does this system? I mean, does it come out of your taxes personally? Because over
Yes,
here,
we
okay,
have
like
high taxes out here. Like we
right,
have
right.
super high taxes. Like for instance, this COVID time, I don't get 100% of my payment. They take 20% out of my paycheck to support these people.
Tana's
You
accent
understand?
over here is free education good.
They have free education out here. They have free hospital out here. They have free,
Is it good?
Is it good?
like, it's
You
good.
pay, you get what you pay for.
For example, I have been admitted at
You
the
get what
hospital.
you pay for, man.
Yeah, I
Right.
have been admitted at the hospital for 4 years, 4 good years, government hospital.
Now,
When I when I
is
when I
that
when
is
I came back,
medical? Is it free or is it you have to have a certain type of
it is like it
you
is 100% free. Like
But he's asking, is it free? Like, do you have to have like a
like
residency,
benefits?
like
Right,
citizenship?
right,
Like you're,
yeah.
if you get here and you are sick, they take you to the hospital. They take care of you. They
even
take
if
care of
you're,
you until
even if
you
you
don't.
have no documentation, like
They
Right.
will help you to get it, but they will take care of you first.
I mean, over
It's
here in the
not
United
like the
States,
kind of
right.
system that you have to go through in United States or these so-called developed countries. Here, they are like Their system really works. Like I said, even when you are a foreigner here in Brazil, you feel at home. So how much more if you are Brazilian?
Now, do you guys have homelessness over there? That's the whole issue I have. I can't
Yeah,
stand
big
homeless
time. There's
in Brazil.
homeless. There's homeless
Yeah.
people. There's homeless people on the street, big time.
Yeah, here
But I
we
think
have here we have a
Brother
lot
Supreme said in a video that these homeless people in Brazil,
of Brazil. Yeah.
that you said that they
They
chose
want
to
to be
be.
there. They chose to
Yeah,
be there. Yeah.
that's what he said.
What happened is that we have homeless people, okay, but yeah, like for example, when you come to Brazil, act
Right.
like a homeless man. You get a food, you get clothes, like you
By
get some
who?
say, let me get you a job.
I
But
mean,
most of these
it's
people,
basically the same thing over here. They go to the Salvation Army.
you understand, like most of these people don't want to work. My wife works with the, she's a social
I don't know if it's that simple.
social worker.
Oh,
Straight.
Prodigy. One question: how deep is homelessness in Brazil? I mean, when you was there, I mean, as what did you notice in your observation?
Me, from my
Yeah.
what I seen.
Right. What you seen?
Well, keep in mind, like I pretty much, for the most part, which is about maybe 70% of the time, I stuck to the touristy areas, you know. So
Right.
like the Copa, the Ipanema, the Leblon, like those areas, and so I seen it. I seen it as soon as I started to venture out of those
Right.
touristy areas.
Oh, you had to get out the touristy areas. In LA
Yeah,
now, bro, it's not even in the tourist area anymore. It's just like in your goddamn face, which is a
in LA.
sad test. Oh yeah, bro.
No,
It's
no, they don't want it so much there. I think in your face in Brazil, in Rio de Janeiro, especially at
right,
Copacabana. I think because that's a high touristy area, right? So they want to have
right,
a certain image, you know. I could even, I could even tell stories about like certain clubs that, you know, certain it was known for, certain kind of women
right, right.
that
I
would.
got you. I got you.
Yeah, yeah. That later, very shortly after started going there, and about like I don't know, a year later, it's like, where did it go? Well,
Right,
they're trying to clean up because the Olympics is coming, because
right,
soccer,
right.
is coming to Brazil. Like I mean, not soccer, the World Cup.
The
World
World
Cup is
Cup,
coming.
right, right,
So it's like they're trying to clean up all that stuff, and it's like, damn,
right,
all right,
So
right.
I
you
missed that
know,
club.
like I said, like people have ways to become like to better themselves, but they choose. Because what I'm saying, why am I saying this? My my wife is a social worker. She works for the government, and she does a lot of what do you call it? Declaration for to get these people homes, paychecks, and stuff like that. Most of her job is to sign a paper, to write a letter showing that no, this person needs help, and then the government will just give the person help. And most of the stories that, like, when I'm talking to her, she tells me is these people have a lot of like advantage. You take them off the street, within a week or two, they are back on the street again. So here, the problem they have is actually drug problems, not economic problems.
I mean,
You
what a lot
understand?
of people are on
If you
what
go to
cocaine or
Philippines,
crystal meth or something or what?
a lot.
Right.
You understand? So you pick them off the street. The system is there for them. You pick them like it's designed to help these people,
Yeah,
but
but let's be honest though,
they
that
go
like
back.
even those Brazilian, not all of them, but even those folks, a lot of the folks that do work and are working, like they're not making a heck of a lot of money.
Right.
So, they're barely getting by, you know what I mean? So
Right.
let's not
Um,
say like, okay, they have a choice to work, but even those that do work, they're not making a lot of money.
Let me tell you something about here. If
right.
you work, you live
I
okay.
love it when he always starts. Let me tell you something. I know my African brother is he's slipping into his dictatorship
Dictatorship
mentality,
mode, yeah,
his
dictatorship.
dictatorship thinking. Let me tell you something,
Yeah,
my
I
friend.
the fact
You
about it.
talking to a fellow African here, so don't even try to slip that. Don't try to slip that by. I'm gonna call you out. I told you I'm here to hold you accountable. I'm here to hold you accountable and let people know.
Right,
I
right,
love you guys so much because you you give me that energy to even think more. You understand? Like
right.
you give me that energy, and it's just fantastic and wonderful to have your
This
kind of people
platform.
around. Like
Right.
you give like most definitely we are going to meet. Most definitely, I'm going to see you guys. Most definitely, because I
Definitely.
like to travel. If not for the COVID, I would have been in
COVID 19.
some place. Like yeah, because I like traveling and shopping a lot.
Right.
And
So you're just going to
like
Miami though.
my next,
You just kicking it at Miami. I see.
yes, I was thinking about visiting Miami for maybe 2 days and then going to
To
Toronto
Canada. He was going to visit
for
Prodigy in
2 days.
Canada.
Yes, for sure. I'm going to
Don't come
meet.
here in the wintertime.
Oh yeah, you ain't gonna be able to. You ain't gonna be able to handle it,
You
bro.
won't. He won't get. He won't
You
leave the
won't. You
airport.
know he'll be weak.
He won't be. He won't leave the airport. He'll be like, I'm out of here.
He's gonna go straight back to Miami in Brazil.
The guy has made videos. The guy has made videos in Brazil complaining about it being cold out there. And you want to come to Canada?
Yes, it's super cool,
Nah, man.
guys. Like
Right.
I remember when I was in Denmark, guys. It was like crazy. Like I wanted to leave Denmark in no time because like it was like some kind of code. You get confused. Like you don't know what to do. Like you feel that cold. Like you get confused. You don't know what to do. Like you want to hide
Right.
somewhere. You want
You
some.
can't do nothing when it's too cold, bro.
Yes.
You have to stay
So
hibernating in your house, bro.
it's the reason why I didn't even like want anything to do with cold Western countries. No, like I just don't want it.
I guess in the United
So,
States it depends on where you want to live. Like northeastern part of the
but to
United States, it's cold as hell. But
I just
Miami is pretty,
in
the weather is
America.
pretty much hot. And California, Southern California, it gets, it never get as cold like New York or anything like that.
But I just can't live in the US. I just can't because uh, I don't think the US has what I want. You
I
know,
would say the only thing good about the U.S. if you come here is making money. I mean,
yes,
if you mind your damn business, keep to yourself
yeah,
and do
because
what
I
because you
really
gotta. I mean, here you gotta do you,
because
and it's kind of right,
the only reason why you're going to see me in US is maybe for shopping because I heard you have cheap stuff in US, so I want to take the advantage and then like go for some 2 days or 3 days shopping and then just
right.
leave. I don't want to even spend 5 days in the US. Now, not with me, guys.
I mean,
No,
it's not as bad as you think it is, bro. It's bad, but it's not as bad as you think.
we see all these videos and stuff like that. Like, hey, no, I
Tana,
can't.
Tana. I mean, I can't believe I'm defending America. America's not boring.
Yeah, but
Like, but
yeah,
It's
but
not boring, bro.
a lot of brothers are making that. They're making that trip. They're making that route to BR. They're either
Brazil,
moving. Yeah, they're even
Yeah,
looking to live or to go down there,
get a
a lot
wife.
of people
vacation,
Right, get a wife.
who want to
get a
come to,
wife, get
Yeah.
yeah,
away.
yeah,
Yeah,
because
like I said, I would say the United States, since the dollar is kind of unfortunately is the main standard of the world now. Unfortunately,
yeah, I don't really,
you
I
make your
don't,
money here. You make your money,
yeah,
and then you
but
live someplace else.
I don't really think dollar. Like I think we out. Like we go in it, we
But you
out.
gotta, but
I only start thinking dollars if I
we
want to
as
buy
we
something
know,
out.
the dollar is the standard around the world, bro.
Yeah.
There's no escaping that shit.
Oh yeah,
That is why I want to
oh yeah.
become a leader someday and then
I
solve this.
Right,
But guys, it's really great, like
right.
having this wonderful conversation with you guys. I don't want to wake, that little girl.
Yeah, yeah, for
She's
sure.
sleeping, and
Oh,
it's like
hold on.
I think
What time is it over there? What time is
it's
Almost
that?
midnight, right? No,
50,
one.
53. It's like left with 6 minutes to midnight.
Oh
So
wow. Okay,
yeah.
I'm like a couple hours behind you. I'm at 7:52.
Wow, here it's 11 out here. So most
Yeah,
definitely,
yeah.
I think we have to rewind this conversation and then put it maybe next day, or we should look for one of these days again. You should let me know at the comment section when we can meet online.
All
Don't
right,
forget to follow the Instagram from
all right.
Africa to South
Of
America. It's your boy,
America.
the Supreme Leader. So, guys, enjoy your evening and don't forget to leave your comment.
All
Love
right.
you guys so
Love
much.
love you too, brother. And
Love you
nice
too,
meeting you,
man.
Prodigy, bro. Nice meeting
Yeah,
you.
likewise, Brian. And hold that camera properly when you're on the street filming, man. Keep that camera. Keep that camera. You know we will. You know what we're trying to see. Don't be